And wow, we are talking about spontaneous creation and, in particular, tripling your income streams. And you might be thinking, oh, really? Like spontaneous creation, instant creation, and tripling your income streams? Like, how can that even work? And, well, I've got Matt Cooperthwaite from South Africa here, and he's going to ask all the hard questions, and I'm going to play with impossible answers, maybe. So, yeah. So, maybe, hi, Matt, first of all.
Hey Lisa, hey everyone, hope you're all doing well again.
Cool. So I want to start with something actually, because one of the things that I noticed, like I have worked for myself now for 7 years, and for a good part of those 7 years, I had one or two clear income streams, like my business coaching as an example. And whenever I wanted money, I would go, oh, what would it take for some more business coaching clients to show up? And I was that specific about it. And then one day I went, oh, hang on a minute, maybe I'm not very bright. What if I started asking for money to show up from anywhere that it could show up? And this was the beginning of me playing with different income streams and realizing that actually all of us have a lot more income streams than we acknowledge. And when you start to play with that and look at how you can expand them, money can show up from all sorts of places in really unexpected ways and often quite quickly. And so this is something that we're going to play with a little bit today, because I noticed that most people have conclusions about where their money comes from. So if you had no conclusion about where your money comes from, I wonder where else it could come from. And if you had no conclusion about how desperate you were for money, I wonder what could be different. And I know, Matt, you've got a question about this that you'd like to ask. So let's go there. Yeah.
Thanks, Lisa. You know, I really love this topic, triple your income streams. And one of the things is, I know even with my own business, I'll look at something, okay, how can I create more revenue? How can I create like another income stream? And especially when like maybe money's a little bit tight, you need something to pay for rent or whatever it is, you try create something. And then all of a sudden you've made this creation of your new product or whatever it is, and then you go into like this desperation of, oh, I need to sell it to make more money so I can pay for a rent, or I can pay for this trip, or whatever, and it actually takes the joy out of it completely. And I kind of get that people can also feel the energy of that, and in your product they'd be like, oh, I don't want that. And how can we have more ease with that and just like being fun?
Yeah, great. And it's a great question, because, you know, there is nothing more off-putting than someone who is desperate for money. And, you know, think about the last person you're aware of who was really desperate for your money. Did you want to give them the money, or were you going, no, really, I give my money to almost anyone except you? You know, and this is the energy that you give off. I know, and it's funny, right? Because we laugh and we think, oh, you know, like, it's, you know, in hindsight, it's always funny, but at the time, we're in this desperate energy and we're, you know, crazily trying to make money, but actually, people are just going, oh, you're desperate, get away from me, and they won't give you the money. And so one of the things that I always say to my clients is, well, what if you play with money? And, you know, Gary Douglas from Access Consciousness always says, well, money follows joy. And it's really funny, because I was always looking at this and going, but there's a lot of unhappy rich people out there, and how does this even work? And then I was talking to someone the other day, and they basically said to me, well, you know, some people take joy in being miserable. And I was like, oh, of course, right? So the thing is, what if you know, if you have to feel desperate, take joy in being desperate, okay? Because at least then there's going to be some fun, playful energy in what it is that you're creating.
Magic.
Yeah, and it's really funny, because like when I saw it, I was just like, oh, that's so obvious when the person said it to me. But this is actually a thing of, in a way you can get around that sort of feeling like you're pretending that you're not desperate, right? Because people go, but I am desperate. How can I, you know, what am I going to do here? And it's like, okay, so what if you actually just go, okay, I'm going to wallow in that desperation. I'm going to really enjoy it. And I'm going to just see what can get created out of it. And of course, you know, it's more fun to create out of a different energy than desperation. But if you actually start to find the humor in it and the humor in yourself, then that's going to start to give your creation a different energy. So that's the first thing I would definitely suggest. And, you know, we often create our income streams through desperation. Like what you said about that is so true. I see so many people doing this. And what I would say to you is that, you know, it's cool to do that. And what if also you could begin to create your income streams for the pleasure of it? Like for the joy of it, for things that would make you really happy when you wake up in the morning. Like, and I'll give you an example. Years and years ago, when I first quit my job, I sent off a chapter for a book to an editor, and I was so nervous and so, like, I pretty much wrote, "Please be kind. I've never written anything before." And I mean, and in saying that, like, I know, but I'd been like a corporate PR person, you know, so I had written things, but I'd never written anything that was really personal to me. Because, you know, when you write in a work environment, it's very impersonal. So I was like really like putting my heart and soul on the line and going, "Please be kind." And she wrote back, and she was incredibly kind. And she basically went, "I really didn't have to edit it. You better keep writing." And I was like, "Oh, right, I can't be too bad at it then." And so that
Yeah.
started me thinking, well, that was pretty fun. And I really only did a first draft. So I wonder what it would take to get paid for writing. And funnily enough, I wrote that down somewhere, and about 3 years later, I found that bit of paper, and I was like, oh my gosh. Because literally, I'd say within a year of me asking that question, I had been getting paid, and I still get paid for writing. You know, and I never advertise that as a service, although it's probably a mistake to say it on this video, I've just realized. But like, yeah, like it's always a thing that has just come to me, and you know, people that I really enjoy working with, and projects that I really enjoy working with. So that was an income stream that came totally naturally, and not through desperation, but from curiosity and from pleasure. And so I
Yeah.
would ask you, how many of your income streams can you create from curiosity, from pleasure, from doing what you're good at, rather than always doing it from desperation?
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask on that note, so do we actually have to identify our income streams? Because in a sense, it's just like maybe we just limiting ourselves from them, or they could actually just, they could literally just be pouring in if we were willing to receive them. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, well, both actually. So you can receive, if you're willing to receive money from anywhere and everywhere, yeah, money can show up. And that's the thing of instant creation. If you are asking for money immediately, be willing to receive it from anywhere. Be willing to find it on the ground. Be willing to know when you need to buy a lottery ticket. Be willing to ask someone for money, whatever it is. If you've got no point of view about where the money comes from, then yeah, you know, they're all different income streams. They might not be consistent income streams, but they are income streams. And when you're asking about, well, do you have to identify them? There's an exercise I do a lot when I run Creativity Lab events with people. And I'm going to talk about it now because we're going to do some other stuff when we actually do the live stream in South Africa. So I will talk about this now. And that is to actually make a list of everywhere where you receive money from and everywhere that you receive currency flows. And by currency flows, what we mean is all of the things that are non-cash. So it might be cheaper rent, or it might be people buying you dinner, or it might be beautiful designer clothes that your friend doesn't want anymore, whatever that might be. And so if you start to look at all of the places that you receive money, all the places you receive currency flows, and then you start to ask, well, what can I add to that? Because identifying them actually gives you it gives you information. I've never seen anyone do it who wasn't actually receiving far more than they'd acknowledged. And so what happens is once you start to acknowledge everywhere it is coming from, you stop that self-talk of, oh, there's not enough. Because most of us go to this energy of there's not enough. I haven't got enough money. I need more money. And that does not create money, actually. What creates money is having a gratitude for it, a joy with it, and the willingness to create what will allow you to receive money. And that can be a whole lot of things. It's not necessarily just work. It can literally be being an energy that allows people to gift money to you. There are so many different ways that you can have income streams. And this is why I love talking about this topic, because literally there are so many ways that people don't look at of where money and wealth can come from. So does that answer what I was asking you?
Yeah, yes, and like just before we wrap up, I want to ask one more question about instant creation. What does instant creation look like with revenue streams? Like how can we just instantly and spontaneously create something to create more money for us that we may need now, or and also that can create stuff for the future instead of just creating something that's a dead end. I
Yeah,
know we're creating because you may need money, but to create something that's way greater than us.
yeah. And the very simple answer to that is to ask. Because most of us don't
Mm.
ask for money. And what I just said about, people go, oh, I don't have enough money, or, all of those kinds of things, or I haven't, I can't pay the rent, or anything like that, that is stopping the flow of instant creation. Whereas if you go, cool, I wonder how much money I could make today, I wonder how much money I could receive today, what would it take for money to come to me today? And then you follow those little intuitive prompts. Like sometimes money has come to me in the most surprising ways. Like when I'm traveling, I'm constantly in the question of, okay, so how can money show up today? And I never know what it's going to look like. What I do know is that if I am willing to keep asking for it with no point of view about what the answer is, but literally just go, okay, cool, I wonder how much fun I can have with money today.
Mhm.
Like when I was in Italy, people were so generous, like in so many different ways. And to me, it wasn't always cash that was coming to me, but, people were buying me lunches and dinners and taking me places and showing me things. And it was really
Yeah.
joyful. And that is the thing of instant creation. I wasn't asking, for $1,000 in my bank account today and with that energy, because that's how most people ask for that kind of thing. I was
Mhm.
literally going, hey, I wonder how much fun we can have with money today. And I wonder what money and what currency flows can show up for me today. And so that thing of instant creation is being willing. So the first thing is, too, you ask for it, but then you've got to be willing to receive it. Because it's very easy when someone offers to buy you dinner or lunch or whatever to go, oh, no, no, it's okay, And one thing I really practice a lot actually when I'm traveling is the receiving part of it, because we're so used to going, oh no, it's okay, but actually if we're willing to keep receiving everything that comes, so much can be different. So that's, yeah, one thing I definitely start with.
Cool. Fantastic, Lisa. And I think can we wrap it up?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, great. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Just a side note, just to let everyone know, we will be live streaming a much bigger version of this class, a good 3-hour live stream, and that's just one of the components. On the 20th and the 21st of September, Lisa Murray is going to be live streaming from Cape Town. So the live stream means you can attend anywhere in the world, similar to this kind of layout. Or you can come and attend live in beautiful Cape Town. We'd love to have you. We're at a stunning hotel really close to the beachfront. And so pretty much we're going to be talking on 4 different topics. This is the Saturday afternoon topic, triple your income streams, and it's going to be fantastic. Can you imagine 3 hours about tripling your income stream? And for all 4 of them, which we'll be discussing in a later series, we've already chatted about one before. It's 299 Australian dollars, and if you'd like to, you can just join in for the single, just for the single one, triple your income streams for $97, and you can register at creativitylablive.tv, and all the information's there. So I hope to see you guys on the live stream or to join us in Cape Town. Cool.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I'm so looking forward to it, and I'm so excited to be coming to Cape Town. Like, I wonder what we could change there in terms of money and creating. And yeah, because, when people have a lot of different income streams, the whole stress around money actually disappears. And that's one thing I've noticed for myself personally is, like, it's like there's so many different ways that money could show up that I don't have to work it out anymore. It's like literally just asking for the money to show up is the process that actually gets it moving. So if you would like to add some income streams and identify some income streams that you could add, then yeah, come play with us and let's see what's possible. Thanks so much, and we'll talk again soon.
Bye everyone. See you later.